The demand for pickup trucks is as strong as the hype over K-pop or lechon baka. But it's more than just a fad because pickups have been a popular choice for quite a while now. And since manufacturers relentlessly fight for a bigger piece of the consumer pie, they keep updating and improving their products. Gone are the days when pickups were purely utilitarian and offered as much comfort as a pogo stick. They have definitely come a long way, which makes it even more difficult for one to really stand out. But the question is, how much more does a pickup really have to offer in order to remain competitive? Well, let's find out by taking a closer look at the latest Nissan Navara. In order to remain competitive, a mid-cycle refresh has to go beyond cosmetic changes. And in that regard, you'll be happy to know that the Navara's enhancements are actually functional aside from being aesthetic. The most obvious change is up front, where you get a significantly bigger grille that really gives it more road presence. This is flanked by quad LED projector headlamps, which really gives the Navara a distinct look. It's an LED affair for the DRLs and fog lamps as well. Along the side, not much has changed, at least for this VL variant. One obvious difference is the addition of these 18-inch alloys wrapped in all-season tires. Behind these wheels are ventilated discs up front and drum brakes for the back. A not so obvious change is how this bed is slightly higher. Now that may be a subtle change, but I think it makes a big difference when it comes to the vehicle's proportions. Ground clearance for the Navara is 200 millimeters, while weighting capacity is 600 millimeters. At the back, you get LED taillights and this tailgate that's a cinch to open and close thanks to this torsion bar. The Navara has a payload capacity of over 1,000 kilograms, which is quite impressive considering the fact that this is the only pickup in the segment that has a multi-link suspension at the back. Cargo capacity is 1,258 liters, while brake towing capacity is 3,500 kilograms. Stepping inside the Navara, you'll see that it has a no-frills interior, where form was a far second to functionality. It may not feel as modern or as premium as other cabins in this segment, but I doubt you'll be left wanting when it comes to features. For starters, you get an 8-inch touchscreen that comes standard with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. This also has an around view monitor, which detects moving objects. 4x4 variants even come with an off-road monitor, which gives you a surrounding view of your terrain at slow speeds on 4 low. It acts like a spotter to ensure you don't scrape the vehicle when off-roading. And since this is the VL variant, it also comes with Nissan's Intelligent Mobility Suite, which includes features such as intelligent emergency braking, driver attention alert, rear cross traffic alert, blind spot warning, lane departure warning, high beam assist, hill start assist, and hill descent control. You now also get a 7-inch TFT display for your multi-information screen, which is flanked by an analog speedometer and tap. The steering wheel has also been revised, which is a very welcome change, as a lot of folks complained about accidentally hitting the horn each time they're turning the wheel. It's also nice to see an 8-way power-adjustable driver seat with lumbar support, which is something you won't find in the top-of-the-line Pro 4X variant. Which is quite odd, but in any case, these are zero-gravity seats, which were inspired by the weightless posture of astronauts in space. Now, I'm not sure if that's a marketing gimmick, but these seats are quite comfortable. The thing is, sitting here doesn't make you feel tall, unlike in other pickups. You do get a relatively low belt line, but the dash sits quite high, which makes it feel like you're behind the wheel of something even bigger. The materials used here lean more towards the durable side, and there are some glossy black plastics, which not everyone is a fan of. Which personally I don't mind. In fact, I kinda like it, which I know is unusual. But in any case, there's no shortage of storage in here, as you get generous compartments on the doors and in the center console. You also have more than enough cup and bottle holders and charge ports. This cabin may be very straightforward, but I think that's a good thing because operating everything here is not rocket science. And the ergonomics are pretty good, as everything is well within reach, and these physical knobs and buttons makes everything more intuitive. You also get dual zone automatic climate control and rear air vents. The rear seats aren't too upright, and you do get decent under thigh support, which will help lessen fatigue during long drives. Head and legroom is adequate, and you can even fold the rear seats for more storage space.
These days, pickup trucks need to be good daily drivers aside from being a dependable workhorse. And that's where the compromise usually is, because pickup trucks aren't exactly known for their ride quality. But that's what sets the Nissan Navara apart, because aside from having a multi-link suspension at the back, this also has a double wishbone suspension at the front, and that translates to a very smooth ride. Most pickups need to carry a full load to become bearable to ride in, but not in the Navara. Even if you're alone in the vehicle, the ride is extremely smooth. Ride comfort is where the Navara really shines. What adds to the ride quality is the superior NVH. Noise suppression is really good, and that's thanks in part to this acoustic glass that does a really good job in keeping the noise outside. Under the hood of the Navara lies a 2.5-liter turbo diesel engine that pumps out 188 horsepower and 450 Newton meters of torque. Now that's not exactly class leading, but once you get behind the wheel of this, you'll find that the power is more than adequate. This is mated to a 7-speed automatic transmission which does a really good job in putting the power down. Peak torque is delivered around 2000 RPM, and I wish it could be delivered a little bit earlier to make the car feel a bit lighter. But nonetheless, the transmission does a really good job. It shifts smoothly, and as soon as you put your foot down, it's quick to downshift. The steering in this is a hydraulic system, so that means it's nicely weighted. However, the steering ratio is more on the lax side, which means it's not as quick to respond as you want it to, and that makes the car feel a bit bigger than it actually is. Overall, the Nissan Navara is a great package. It delivers everything you'd come to expect from a pickup without the usual compromises, and that makes it a really good deal.
The Nissan Navara VL 4x2 can be yours for 1,599,000 pesos. And considering everything this has to offer and all the enhancements, I'd say yes, this is still an extremely compelling choice.